Now, speaking of elongated processes, we got the Chicago Bulls, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Alex Caruso, who was the apple of everyone's eye, an all defensive type player, a guy who people really believe will change good teams to championship type teams. That's the type of player that they think he is. Oklahoma City got him for Josh Giddey. It was clear that Josh Giddey had to go from Oklahoma City, right? The Bulls are clearly looking at Josh Giddey and saying he's got room to improve. He's a creative passer. He's a good defender. And we have issues at the point guard spot because Lonzo Ball is there. We're not sure of what Lonzo Ball's future is going to be. And clearly, if you're signing and trading for Josh Giddey, it is clear the way the Bulls think about Lonzo Ball, who would be entering the fourth year of that contract that he signed with the Bulls as a free agent. But he's missed all of last year, most of the year before, with a really unfortunate leg injury. Remember the whole, he's unable to walk, so he got in front of a pool and stood up and sat down and stood up and sat down to prove that all the reports about him not being able to walk were false. Duff protests too much to some degree in that way. But the Bulls clearly are trying to move on from Lonzo Ball. They're also trying to move on from Zach LaVine, who they signed to a 5-year, $215 million max last year. He clearly, in the front office, aren't necessarily aligned, or he and Billy Donovan aren't aligned. He had surgery that ended the season. There was rumors about him being traded up until the trade deadline when he decided and elected to have surgery. Those talks will continue. I would not be surprised if something developed over the next few days. The Bulls are very anxious to get off of him. I'm a little surprised that the Bulls did not get more draft capital for Alex Caruso, considering how coveted he was around the league. And maybe Oklahoma City just pulls Jedi mind tricks. Maybe that's just what it is. They have all their picks, and they didn't want to give up a damn pick to get off of Josh Giddey. And I felt like to get off of Josh Giddey and everything that he had going on, you guys can go look it up. There was accusations of him having an underage relationship with a minor. It was investigated, and it could not be corroborated. And every time he touched the ball in a gym somewhere, he was roundly booed. And he just didn't fit with Oklahoma City because with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams and Lou Dort, they needed someone who could space the floor. Defensively, he fit, but offensively, they were really gummed up, and you saw that in that playoff series against the Dallas Mavericks, and that was one of the reasons why Dallas was able to overtake them. Oklahoma City also is in a spot where they're going to have to make financial decisions over the next couple of years because as well as they've drafted, not just Chet Holmgren, but, bringing Shai over, and Shai's on the max, you got to figure out what you're going to do with J-Dub. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Lou Dort. I think J-Dub is going to be the guy. That's like Kawhi Light, which means you're going to have to pay him, which means Oklahoma City, we all know, they live in a different financial world than the rest of the NBA. They're not going into luxury tax territory. They've got those draft picks for a reason. So you're not sure who they're going to keep, who they're going to hold on to, but Chet Holmgren is a keeper, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a keeper, and that Jalen Williams is a keeper. The question is, how do you fit all those things around them in a very competitive Western Conference? Getting a guy like Alex Caruso is a step towards more relevancy, more playoff-like experience, so to speak, where he doesn't scare. He's going to make some shots, and he's going to defend and be very scrappy. I like that, especially not having to give up anything of the draft.